Pura Vida MVP, welcome back to the unofficial 500th episode of Mutant TV here on the Mutantville Players YouTube account. All brought to you courtesy of mutantville.com. It's interesting that we have a coincidence of two anniversaries. One being our 1-year anniversary of MVP Mutant Radio and our 500th episode of Mutant TV. Two of our media arms from MVP, Mutantville Productions, and mutantville.com. Just want to say it's been a fun ride so far. Thank you all for joining us. If you haven't yet, people in YouTube land, I would like to recommend that you check out the radio show if you enjoy the things that we talk about here on YouTube, from our interviews to our how-tos to our vlog monologues, so to speak. You know, we have a lot of that stuff on MVP Mutant Radio as well, and the shows are a little bit longer. The average show length for MVP Mutant Radio is about 45 minutes to an hour. But sometimes when we get going on a certain subject, we can go and go and go. Like when we had Phil K on to talk about sci-fi and superheroes, that episode wound up turning into, I think, a 3-hour extravaganza. And on New Year's Eve, when we had Todd A. Britt on to record our Drunken New Year's Eve special, again, something we're highly experienced with, that went on for almost 4 hours. So pretty crazy stuff, but good times had by all. For example, we recently reviewed Antiviral by director Brandon Cronenberg, son of David Cronenberg, who says he wants to create his own identity by, ironically, his first movie is very Cronenbergian, so to speak. It's like a chip off his father's block, that's for certain. So if you're a fan of early Cronenberg work, you should definitely check it out. It should be on video on demand, and it's also playing in a limited theatrical release. I still plan on reviewing it here on Mutant TV. I just have to get around to it. But anyway, busy weekend full of writing, all kinds of stuff. Look for some kind of preview show coming up on MVP Mutant Radio with all the crazy things coming up. Man of Steel, Iron Man 3, and Star Trek 2 Into Darkness, respectively. In case you can't figure out how to get to MVP Mutant Radio and you haven't seen the annotation boxes, there is a link right down there in the About Us section. You can click that. It'll take you over to the Libsyn web page for that. And if you want to find iTunes, we can also send you over to iTunes. So right there. I'm going back to finish my Vault of Mysterious Information appearances in the coming week. And some of the things we're going to talk about is going to be Hellboy, the comic book, and Mr. Monster. Now, I know a lot of people are not familiar with Mr. Monster, so I thought I would show you what his books look like. At one time, Alan Moore called this character one of the most original characters of the decade. So, high praise there. There's another cover. Fun stuff. I have to read over that and part of my research for the show. We're also going to talk about Chopsaki. For comic books, I picked Master of Kung Fu. Check that out. Specific run, Warriors of the Golden Dawn, from 83 to number 90, which I think was the single best storyline of Master of Kung Fu. There he is confronting his father, Shang-Chi. You know, Marvel eventually lost the rights to use that Shang-Chi, not Shang-Chi, but Fu Manchu. They lost the rights to use the Fu Manchu character, so they kind of had to change the background for Shang-Chi a little bit, but that's the story we're going to talk about. So good times, keep on rocking, keep on rolling. Good UFC event this weekend, lots of entertaining boxing. There are good movies playing in the theater. I've heard lots of great things about Oblivion. I want to check that out. Antiviral was a blast. Star Trek 2 is coming up. Iron Man 3 is coming up. Man of Steel. All kinds of fun things. And if you want to keep up to date on everything that's happening, Keep checking mutantville.com. We'll have the best in trailers, the best reviews, the best radio shows, and the best in mutant TV. Thanks for joining me for another 500 episodes. Thanks to my co-founders at MVP, S. Brent Bowers and Gio Swanko, and also Todd A. Britt, our special makeup illusionist. We couldn't have done it without you, all of you guys. Anyway, this is Streebo. I'll see you next time. MVP, Mutant Radio, mutantville.com, Mutant TV, 500 episodes. What are we going to do?